Stay tuned for the planet Earth's most relevant newscast. Broadcasting from Sector 17G of the Milky Way Galaxy, we present you a program that is a strange combination of newsworthy and non-newsworthy. Funny at times and extremely non-funny at others. Ladies and gentlemen, Earthlings and Lunars, we present to you Valemount Live.
Welcome to episode 58 of Valemount Live. My name is Anne-Marie Scott.
And I'm Jody Newham.
I've got one word.
What's that?
Atomsvictorious.
That's actually two words, Anne-Marie.
No, it's a new word I made up when I found out that the Atoms Hockey Megaproject won their home tournament.
Atomsvictorious.
Nice ring to it.
But it's more than just hockey highlights we have for you tonight.
That's right. We've got footage from the Senior Girls Tournament.
News about a geothermal power project.
Another peek into the pioneering spirit.
More science fun with Zach.
And a look at what to expect at Winterfest.
Last night, Borealis GeoPower came to Valemount to discuss their plans for a geothermal plant on the Kinbasket Reservoir.
Here are Earth Rangers Craig Dunn and Tim Thompson of Borealis GeoPower.
Geothermal just means earth heat. Fairly simple. Our planet produces an exorbitant amount of heat. To put it in perspective, in terms of how far we've gone with a drilling program, we've never cracked the crust. So this is our planet. This is approximate sizing of it. We have about 6,000 degrees centigrade at the center. It's probably it's estimated to be hotter than the surface of the sun. Rough estimates about 6 billion years worth of heat. So we have a better chance of our sun burning out before our planet stops producing heat.
A 10 megawatt generating facility, which, to give you again, I love dimensions, would be probably twice the size of this one. Single story, twice the size. So it's not that big. No greenhouse gas emissions at all, and no water emissions either. When we run the calculations of how much power you get versus how much land you actually have to disturb, it's generally agreed, not just by us, but generally agreed that geothermal by far is the most energy intense form of power production, be it hydrocarbon or not, available, and provides the least amount of disturbance in the surface.
Being privately held, we don't have sort of a million shareholders that go, hey, what are you doing right now? So we've been able to be quite dynamic about the projects we pick. And our project focus, in terms of what we work on, has been very much partnering with other organizations and other companies to bring projects forward.
The opportunity locally is quite minimal. The only place where we see an opportunity, we've already been discussing it with the town on many fronts on this, but both Tom and Silvio, is that this thing pumps out a lot of heat, way more heat than power. So there's an opportunity for very low cost heat. And the agreement that I think we're looking to reach, subject to everyone's agreement on that, is a very cheap heat transfer to the town, to some sort of development corp. And the town could use that heat on its own accord to find or attract whatever industry it felt was appropriate for the region. But we're not, I just don't want to create an illusion that this project would create all of a sudden this massive amount of employment. That's not where I think the town can make a buck.
So how good is your goodwill? Are you extending that for infinity, or how's that going to work?
Well, I'd like to think our goodwill's pretty good. However, we're only going to be in control of the project until such time as a major investor steps up.
We need to make sure.
That's why I think I mentioned a 12 to 24 month timeline to get the agreement on the heat, because we need to bind the project with the agreement, because a major investor, let's say they're a utility, might have a different view of supporting the local community. I'm not saying it's good or bad.
Fuzzy utility.
Yeah, but in our view, as a small private company, we can take more than enough value out of this that we're happy.
Are we going to see you guys on the Dragon's Den?
No.
Wow. Finally a project that is going to lift Valemount from its slump.
Not really. If you were listening to the clip.
I wasn't. I was checking out the dude with the hair.
Tim Thompson?
Whatever. The sexy Earth Ranger with the flowing locks.
Look, the Earth Ranger said the project had a long way to go. And if it does go ahead, it will have no remarkable impact on employment.
I just look at the guy and I think hot tub.
Oddly, that is a possibility.
A hot tub session with Earth Ranger?
They have offered the village the use of excess heat. A lot of heat that they can't turn into electricity.
Finally, a mega project for Valemount.
No. And let's move on. Here's what Administrator Tom Dahl had to say about the project on behalf of Council.
With them, we contacted our MLA to push geothermal a little bit more through the ministries, and I think to date that has had some success.
Yeah.
And we've also signed up with BC Hydro, which I'll be going to a meeting. Council just approved last night that I attend a meeting on March 23rd, is to stress that geothermal becomes one of BC Hydro's alternative energy.
Science guy Zach Schneider has a related project.
Let's go to that now.
Hi, I'm Zachary Schneider, and this is sciencey stuff, I guess. Today, I'm going to be using a motor to generate electricity to power this LED, but very faintly. So it might probably work, I hope, I guess. So we will find out. But first, I will explain how this works. This is the positive supply wire. This is the negative wire. Turns this motor here, spins this belt here, and then it turns the motor here, which creates electricity for the LED here, right here. I will now apply power to my invention thing. Except don't use power from the wall, because that can really hurt you, and you probably won't feel good after that, and that you should probably use a battery instead of wall current, because that's just not very good or safe. So I'll turn it on. This is the motor that powers it. This is the motor that is generating the electricity for the LED. This is the LED that will be using the power. It's not very much, so I'll have to turn out the lights. This is Zachary Schneider signing off of sciencey stuff, I guess?
Wow, he could power the whole town with that thing.
Not so much, but he is only 10. Give him another 2 years and I'm sure he'll have it.
This weekend is Winterfest.
Are you entering the big race?
I have to check with my PO.
Why? What's the problem? A restraining order?
Speed-related priors. I'm too fast to be legal.
What do you ride, GT or toboggan?
What? I use a crazy carpet. Old school.
That's right, Valemount. This year, the Winterfest will include toboggan races.
Toboggan races! It's like skiing, but without all the fuss of turning.
Or being able to slow down.
Commit or bail. There are only 2 options.
Winterfest coordinator Jennifer Robinson has the details.
Is there anything happening this weekend?
Actually, there is something happening this weekend. It's the 3rd annual Valemount Winter Festival.
The 3rd!
Oh yeah. This year we have some tobogganing races, which we're holding on the Sunday.
Any limits on what kind of toboggans people can have? Can they have motors on them?
No motors. Yes, no motors. No motors, please. It will be up 5 mile.
Wow!
Yeah, and it will be groomed and ready for the race.
This track hasn't been approved by Van Elk, has it? Because they've got a pretty bad track record. That's all I'm saying.
No, it hasn't.
Okay, great.
No.
What are some of the old favorites that are going to be
The old
happening?
favorites we have are the Winter Triathlon. Which will be starting at 11, same as always. And we're also having family games on the marsh.
Has anyone done it yet?
And we also have Mandy and Darren coming down with the dogs for dog sledding. Friday night, things get started with the welcome reception. Saturday, we have the triathlon, the family games, the dog sledding, and some casual pond hockey, along with the poker run. And then Sunday's the tobogganing races.
Excellent. Thank you.
Later in the month, the Valemount Museum and VCTV will present a series of interviews with old-timers at the high school.
It's called Pioneering Spirit and features stories of the early days in Valemount.
Last week, we heard from Nick and Bill Bassaraba, as well as Angus McCurdy.
Here's another preview with two fellas you may know, Francis and Willis Blackman.
In wintertime, we had to haul water from the creek because the little ditch that ran down through here in the summer, of course, would freeze up and the creek would block it off and there was no water. So we would go with a sleigh and bring water every day and pack snow in a bathtub and let it melt. And, you know, you'd get halfway home and the sleigh would tip over or something would slide off the sleigh.
Water on the sleigh and off would go the boiler go back and start over.
So you would have a horse too?
No.
A horse? How'd the sleigh work?
Just pull sleigh.
Oh, a pull sleigh.
Yeah. With a boiler or whatever on it.
Oh, wow.
In the early years, we had a cow, and because we had a bit of a barn there, down there. And then in later years, we used to buy milk from Lawsett Brothers, like what Dot Williams is.
Right.
And when Harley and we used to walk down there with our little pack sacks, and I'd carry 1 quart of milk, he carried 2 quarts. And then later years, well, Harley lived in Blue River going to school because, you know, no schooling here, so then I had to go by myself. And so I would have started, I guess probably at like 4 years old. 4 years old, walk down there by myself and get a couple of quarts of milk. And Mom would come here to this bridge and she could see all the way down and to watch me, you know, she knew about when I should be coming back. And then Eddie, he would, you know, after, you know, 10 minutes or so, well, he'd walk out to the gate and look to see that I was still going okay. And this was winter time, you know, winter and summer. So, yeah, but that's the way it was done, eh?
Wow, I can totally identify. When I was a kid, it was winter all year long, and I had to walk to school uphill both ways in 8 feet of snow.
Pshaw. You got to walk to school? We couldn't even leave the house because our doors were frozen shut.
Your house had doors? We had a hole in the roof. We had to come and go like Santa Claus.
Santa? We were lucky if we got a lump of coal and we didn't dare light it on fire. That was all we had to eat until spring.
Wait, you got to eat?
In sports.
Valemount hosted a major tournament last weekend, but there was one game that many came to watch in particular.
Lumbee versus Valemount.
Let's go, Timberwolves!
have only one word to describe the next clip we are about to see. Atomsvictorious!
Here are the Valemount Atoms playing Quesnel in the final match of their home tournament.
Hi, my name is Andrew McCracken, and I'm here with video journalist Kevin Zamniak. Tonight, we're taping the final game in the Valemount Atoms hockey tournament. Very exciting here today. We're told from the captain that the team wasn't sure they were going to make it to the finals before this thing started, and then when the game started rolling, they did quite well.
At the start, we kind of thought that we weren't doing so good, but then we won the first game, then we kind of built confidence and then won the second game, and we said we lost this game, but it's just nothing. It's just it doesn't mean anything. We're still going for first.
What do you think you've got to do in order to cap this whole thing off?
Just play hard, don't try not to let any goals in.
And tell me, have you played this team before? You're playing in the finals?
Yes, we lost against them before.
What was the score?
It was like 4-3.
So a close match.
Yeah.
Are you happy to be able to meet them again?
Yeah. We're gonna win.
So they're excited to participate, and they're going to give a super effort and try to capture a home tournament win.
Valemount, number 17.
Here are some post-game interviews.
Kind of challenging when it was in overtime, but Brogan kind of got up there and so scored a goal. And,
Do you think you and your teammates put in the full effort?
Yeah, and this is our second tournament that we've won this year, out of 3.
Congratulations.
So, awesome.
Best part.
Scoring.
What went right for you guys?
We played hard. We got rebounds.
How do you like playing with these Valemount kids?
Good.
Right on. What made it happen?
Well, I just think that we tried hard and everybody worked together. That's pretty much just.
Right on, right on.
Yeah.
How are you enjoying playing with down here in Valemount?
It's good.
Right on. What was the best part of the game for you?
Probably overtime.
Right on. Cool.
I felt pretty good, but at the first game we kind of lost, like the first round, and I thought we were dead.
And which one of your teammates would you like to recognize?
Probably the goalie, because he stood in there, and if it were for him, we probably would have won.
How are you feeling about that game?
Excited. It was fun.
Right on. Best part for you?
Well, when I saved the shot where it was going top shelf. Shot was going top shelf and I gloved it, and
That was beautiful. Who were your star defensemen?
Sydney, Matt's not defense, but he did a good job. Michael Snow and that's.
Sweet. Congratulations, kids.
You may be surprised to know that this is not the only locally produced show on television in Valemount.
That's right. There's the Father and Daughter Show featuring Hannah and her dad on Friday nights at 7 until 9.
And there's Cooking with Jeanette and Charlene playing at 11 a.m. and 11 p.m. Monday through Friday of next week.
Here's a preview of what you will see.
Good morning, Charlene.
Good morning.
We just put in the garlic and the ginger here now.
Thankfully, they didn't sell me.
They were not that poor, your parents.
No.
Can you see that bounce?
The first roti I ever made.
Yes, it's a little bit crispier than.
Yeah, okay. You like it? Yeah. This is really delicious.
Yummy. You can watch that at 11 a.m. or p.m. Monday through Friday.
That's all we've got for you tonight.
See you at Winterfest. Check a local paper for times.
Toboggan races are on Sunday.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Good night.
Good night.